There comes a moment, quiet and piercing, when you realize that your exhaustion isn't physical. You've slept, you've rested, and yet you wake up drained, as if your spirit never got the chance to close its eyes. This isn't fatigue, it's fragmentation. It's what happens when you've been too open for too long, when your soul became a shelter for everyone else's storms, but no one ever noticed the thunder inside you. Have you ever felt that? Like your presence is always expected, your energy always assumed, your light always available, until it flickers. This isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sacred signal, a divine whisper that says, your energy is sacred, and if you don't protect it, the world will consume it without apology. In this journey, you will remember the forgotten art of sacred boundaries, not built from fear, but forged in self-respect. You will understand why Carl Jung believed that individuation requires a retreat from the collective noise, so you can, finally, hear your own soul speak. This is not about isolation. It's about initiation into a life where your presence is no longer an open facet, but a sacred wellspring, guarded and holy. Not all exhaustion comes from action. Some of it comes from exposure, energetic exposure. You didn't run a marathon. You didn't work a 10-hour shift. You simply sat in a room, answered a call, held space for someone else's unraveling, and now you feel like your soul has been hollowed out. There's a reason for this. Certain people, without intending harm, carry a hunger in them, a void, a silence they never learned to sit with, and when they come near your light, your softness, your empathy, your intuitive warmth, they drink from you like a wellspring, not because they are evil, but because they are empty. And you, being the healer, the giver, the open-hearted one, let them over and over again. Carl Jung spoke of the possessed personality, individuals unconsciously overtaken by their inner wounds and projections. These people, often unaware of their own emotional needs, become siphons for the energy of others. They don't say it aloud, but their presence demands, hold this for me, feel this for me, fix this for me, and you do. Until one day you can't, until your light starts to flicker, until you find yourself crying without reason, snapping at shadows, craving silence like air. It's not just you. It's not weakness. It's not oversensitivity. It's the psychic cost of being overly available. Your nervous system is not designed to hold the emotional weight of the world, and yet you've made it your job. This isn't compassion. This is unconscious martyrdom. This is what happens when the healer forgets to heal herself, when the intuitive forgets to shield her spirit, when the giver forgets to receive. So how do you know when this is happening? How do you recognize an energetic vampire when you're in their orbit? Pay attention. After they leave, do you feel relieved or wrung out? Do your thoughts feel cloudy, your emotions out of sync, your body tense for no clear reason? That's your energy field signaling intrusion. You are not crazy. You are not broken. You are awake. And now that you can see it, you can begin to reclaim what was always yours. Let us reframe what we've been taught. Boundaries are not cruel. Boundaries are not selfish. Boundaries are holy lines drawn in the sand of your soul, carved with the ink of self. They are not about keeping love out. They are about letting love in without letting yourself disappear. Imagine your spirit as a sacred temple. Would you allow strangers to walk its corridors without reverence? Would you leave the doors open through every storm, letting the rain erode the altars? Of course not. Then why do you do it with your life force? We've been conditioned, especially as women, especially as empaths, to associate value with how much we give, to believe that being available equals being lovable. That to say no is to abandon someone. That to protect our peace is to betray the collective. But Jung reminds us, the journey of individuation demands withdrawal from the unconscious patterns of the group. You cannot become your true self while playing a role that drains you. Energetic boundaries are not punishments. They are prayers. Prayers whispered into the fabric of your life that say, I am sacred. I am whole. I do not owe anyone the parts of me that keep me alive. They are less about rules and more about rhythm. The rhythm of your soul, the seasons of your body, the subtle cues of your intuition. They show up when you decline a call to protect your silence, when you walk away from gossip to preserve your clarity, when you speak your truth, even if your voice trembles. To build these boundaries, begin with rituals. Light a candle and speak your intention into the flame. I honor my energy. Visualize your aura glowing like golden armor, shimmering and impenetrable to what is not meant for you. Use sacred words like spells. not today. This is not mine to carry. I return this to the source with love. Let water wash away what lingers. Let salt guard your door. Let the moon witness your reclamation. Every time you say no, you're not rejecting someone, you're welcoming yourself home. Every time you choose peace over people-pleasing, you're realigning your life with truth. Let your boundaries be a map that leads you back to the parts of you that were never meant to be shared with just anyone. Overgiving is a silent inheritance, passed from mother to daughter, from generation to generation, not in words, but in glances, in gestures, in sighs. It is taught in the way a woman bites her tongue instead of speaking her truth, in the way she smiles when she's tired, in the way she says yes when every part of her wants to say no. It's a spell, an emotional spell, that binds you to the illusion that your worth is measured by your sacrifice. But here's the truth. Jung might whisper to you now, overgiving is not love. It is a form of control, a way to ensure approval, a way to avoid rejection, a way to say, if I am useful, maybe I won't be abandoned. But what if that abandonment already happened long ago? What if the first person you abandoned was yourself? The cycle begins in trauma, in a moment when your needs were too loud, too messy, too inconvenient, and so you silenced them. You learned to scan the room, feel the unspoken, anticipate the emotional weather of others before they spoke. A word, you became a shapeshifter, molding your presence to match what was safest. But safety and wholeness are not the same. Safety is survival, wholeness is truth. To break this cycle, you must first acknowledge the ache beneath it. You must grieve the years you lost trying to be enough. And then, with tenderness, you must unlearn the lie that you are only lovable when you give everything away. Practice receiving, not just compliments, but care. Let someone hold the door. Let silence be enough. Let your body rest when it asks. Say, I don't have the energy for this right now, and feel the power in your own protection. This is sacred rebellion. This is spiritual liberation. This is what it looks like to choose yourself without guilt. The more you do, the more your nervous system heals, the more your inner child breathes, the more your life begins to mirror your inner worth. Because when you stop overgiving, you stop overcompensating, and in that space, your true self is born. Restoration is not just about sleeping, it is about returning to yourself, to your breath, to your boundaries, to your body. It is the sacred act of reweaving what was once frayed. And in this modern world of noise, the restoration of your energy is a spiritual right. You are not just tired, you are overexposed. You've given too many pieces of yourself to places that didn't know how to hold them. Now it's time to gather them back. Begin with ritual. Ritual is memory made visible. The soul speaks in symbols, and the body responds to sacred gestures. Start small. Pour water into your hands as you whisper, I cleanse what is not mine. Place your feet on the ground and say, I root into what is real. Burn herbs, and imagine the smoke carrying away the residue of others' emotions. Light a candle before bed, and tell your spirit, tonight, I return to myself. Make space for solitude, not to isolate, but to integrate. Let silence become your sanctuary. Turn off your phone for 1 hour. Lie on the floor. Listen to your breath like it's an old song you're remembering. These moments may seem simple, but they are portals. They are how you rebuild your field, your light, your wholeness. Jung said that symbols speak to the soul in a language it understands. So create symbolic acts that mean something to you. Draw a circle around yourself with crystals or flowers, visualizing it as your energetic container. Write down what you're releasing and bury it in the earth. Sing, cry, dance. Movement is medicine. Stillness is too. And most of all, withdraw without apology. You don't need permission to protect your peace. You don't need approval to rest. Restoration is your birthright. And the more you reclaim it, the more you'll realize you are not here to be emptied. You are here to be radiant. And radiance requires rest. There is one truth that changes everything. Your energy creates your world. What you say yes to, what you allow, what you tolerate, these become the threads of your reality. If your life feels chaotic, it is not because you are broken. It is because your boundaries have been breached. If your mind feels foggy, it is not because you are lost. It is because you have absorbed too much that isn't yours. But now, you remember. You remember that you are the guardian of your own soul. That your energy is sacred. That every moment is an altar, and every choice a spell. You are not a vessel to be filled by others. You are a flame that must be fed with your own truth, your own rituals, your own reverence. From this day on, let your life be shaped by what sustains you. Let your calendar reflect your soul's rhythm. Let your relationships echo mutual nourishment. Let your home be your sanctuary, not your battlefield. And when someone or something asks for your light, ask yourself, is this love, or is this leakage? You are changing now. You are remembering who you were before the world told you to be everything. And in that remembering, you are returning to a place where your no is sacred, where your yes is true, where your energy is not a currency for acceptance, but a vessel of divine light. If these words touched your spirit, share them with someone who's ready to come home to themselves. And above all, walk away from anything that dims your light. You were not born to be consumed. You were born to radiate.